यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम् परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृताम् धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे।
Background of Third World War. Background of Third World War. Background of Third World War.
On Easter Day, dated 17th April 2022, background of the Third World War. I, Diksha Verma, English translator of Lord Kalki's ministry, translating the teaching of background of the Third World War as it is presented by Adi Shri Arun on the occasion of the Easter Day, dated 17th April 2022. I'm not saying anything with my own mind. Warm welcome to you all on the Easter Day meeting, which is celebrating the resurrection of Christ Jesus on the third day after his crucifixion. Lord told before his arrival in the end of Kali Yuga, but when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. Then said he unto them, Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. Look back, Bible, Luke chapter 21 and verse 9 and 10. In the Lord's plan, doomsday worship of Russia was destroyed and submerged in water. It is a matter of surprise how God planned to destroy it because it was impregnable. Russia's doomsday worship was so proud that it was impregnable and there can be no effect of any attack on it. And it is impossible to save the country on which it will attack. The country on which it attacks, the land of that country will be ruined, which is called turning into a graveyard. Ukraine attacked on Russia's doomsday worship with Neptune and sank it. The first front of the Third World War will open in the Black Sea. War changer revenge. World order change. The president of Russia had thought of cataclysmic king in the sea. His plan was to keep watching the world of such devastation caused by the sea. This is the doomsday worship it was most proud of. Ukraine sank the cruiser that the Russians considered pride with its missile. The time when it was brought into the sea, it was called the Cataclysmic King. On 7th April, it was declared why it was called the cataclysmic king. Remember that the end of this war will be very painful and terrible. Why? Because nuclear attack will happen. Britain, Russia and America are also saying this, that we will not hesitate to do nuclear attack. But when will it happen? Where it will happen? In what way, it has not been decided yet. In the last 24 hours, Russian President Putin quickly took revenge from Ukraine for the Neptune missile that destroyed the Russian doomsday warship. But this revenge war is about to change. This world order is going to change due to keeping preventives in mind. Why? How? We'll tell after this big news starts. The Russian doomsday warship was attacked from Neptune itself. Ukraine, who is proud of Russia that it was the great destroyer king, was drowned in the Black Sea by the Neptune missile. How was this done? Russian doomsday warship was believed to be impenetrable, and when it attacks, no one will get a chance to escape. How was it drowned? The president of Russia says that it was actually an accident. While carrying it, it sank due to imbalance. What do you think has really happened? Understand here in each and every scene. Watch the sinking of the Moskva here. Why it was called Impregnable King? Because it had helipad for Ka-27 helicopter, it had short-range surface cruiser missile torpedo tube, long-range surface cruiser missile, 600 Samamran rocket, 6 AK-630 anti-aircraft gun, AK-130 dual-purpose gun, 16 HP 1000 Vulcan supersonic missile. Moskva was destroyed. When this Russian doomsday warship sank, the anger of Russian President Putin reached the seventh sky. Then Russia attacked on the factory located in Kiev, which made Neptune, and that factory was destroyed by burning. There seems to be a nuclear war now because the US does not stop helping Ukraine. Now, Russia has no other option but to wage a nuclear war. That is, only the Black Sea will open the front of nuclear war. That's why now the eyes of the world are on the Black Sea, because the Third World War will start from the Black Sea. Has the Third World War started at sea? Now the question arises that who will be the world champion? It will be decided in the ocean itself, who will become the world champion in the Third World War. Russia's media representative said that the World War has begun only after the doomsday warship sank. Now there will be a war between Russia and NATO and America. The war that will start now will be fought with an atomic bomb. All the countries will be involved in this war. Here 9 big news related to Blue Battle. Who's he? From Mediterranean to NATO, the country's navy increased the deployment of US warships. More deadly aircraft have flown than the American warport. Of the 510 soldiers aboard Russia's Moskva warship, only 58 were rescued and 452 Russian soldiers died. The sinking of Russia's Moskva warship has increased the concern of the whole world. It is being said that there were 2 nuclear weapon loads in Moskva. Ukraine attacked the Moskva warship with 21-ton Neptune missiles. After the attack, the Moskva warship caught fire, but Russia is lying this truth. Now Russia will investigate it. The mayor of Bucha has said that the Russian military has performed an orgy of death by shooting civilians of Ukraine. 85% of the dead Ukrainian citizens had bullet wounds in their bodies. Russia deliberately shot civilians of Ukraine. A lot of news is coming from the war zone. Russia's President Putin got angry with Ukraine's counterattack. Putin will take revenge by atomic attack. This is a warning from CIA Director William Burns. CIA Director William Burns said that Russia could drop atom bombs on Ukraine. CIA Director William Burns also said to take his warnings seriously. The war may have broken out between Ukraine and Russia, but the tension between the US and Russia is increasing continuously. Britain's military commander has made a big statement on Russia that if Russia attacks Europe, the NATO army will give a direct reply. The NATO forces 100% ready to defend Europe. Another big news from the war zone. Ukraine's army is now fearless against Russia. Ukrainian Air Force landmines over Belgorod of Russia. Ukraine's army attacked Belgorod in Russia with a ballistic missile. You can see it. Now, the war which will start, that war will be fought with nuclear bomb. All countries will be involved in this war. India, China, Taiwan, Pakistan, Turkey, North Korea, South Korea, Poland, Britain, America, NATO, the whole European country, Israel, Iran, Iraq, etc. All countries, etc. This war will be so terrible that in 1 hour, 55 crore people will die. The European report has declared that the Russian army and the NATO countries can launch nuclear attacks against each other. In the first 1 hour of this nuclear war, 55 crore people are feared to be killed. Atomic war will destroy Europe. Russia has changed the run policy to avoid massive losses. Russia has now made a new plan to conquer eastern Ukraine. Now, his army will move forward by conquering small areas of Ukraine. Tension of China-Taiwan war fears world war. Chinese army engaged in occupation of Taiwan. It was clearly said by the Chinese Defense Ministry that America is playing with fire. China has indicated an attack on Taiwan. The Chinese Defense Ministry clearly said that America is increasing the tension by provoking China. China is preparing for war near the Taiwan border. China is ready to drill a war on the Taiwan border. Seeing the opportunity, China's intention is to attack Taiwan. Seeing the tense atmosphere of China, Taiwan has geared up to go to war. Taiwan has prepared a complete plan to stop China on the coastal line. Despite America's warning, China is not deterring its antics. Chinese fighter jet once again entered Taiwan's airspace. Between the US Navy and Japan's naval exercise in the Sea of Japan, Russia gave a big message by testing the missile. Japan and America became alert after Russian missile test. Another battlefield blazed between Russia and Ukraine war. China and Taiwan are standing face to face on the battlefield. The building you see behind me is the National Chiang Kai-shek Monument of Taiwan. The monument built in Taipei, the capital of Taiwan, is the gateway of Taiwan. The clouds of war are now hovering over Taiwan, which has a beautiful heritage in itself. China wants to collide with America after the death of Taiwan. China intends to destroy the world. Every secret of the dangerous plans of dragons will be exposed today. But before that, definitely know the big news of the flame of this war that broke out between Russia and Ukraine. Shocking report on nuclear war from America. Massive bombing of Kyiv. Putin stunned by counter-attack in eastern Ukraine. Ukraine destroyed a number of Russian military vehicles when a Russian convoy carrying military weapons and military paraphernalia of war arrived. Russia's big claim on Lithuania. Lithuania's PM said that Russian nuclear weapons are present in the Baltic region, raised concern on Russia action in terms of peace in the region. Russia once again launched a major missile attack on Ukraine. Russia has fired the biggest lethal missile on Ukraine. Russian missile rain seen in the sky. America is preparing to challenge Russia directly. US President Biden said for the first time that he could go to Kyiv, and this is seen as a direct way to challenge Putin directly. The Security Council of the Ukrainian nation has made it clear that Russia has planned to kill Zelensky. Putin of Russia wanted to form a puppet government in the place of Zelensky. Ukraine released full details of Putin's plan. Last night, Russia attacked the Ukrainian Air Force. Bombing of a key location. Multiple blasts caused by Russian fighter attack. A fire broke out after the bombing of a Ukrainian Air Force base. NATO came into action, seeing the Baltic country in danger. NATO warship reaches the Baltic Sea. 5 NATO warships led by Intrepid Land carried out combat exercises in the Baltic Sea. British Armed Force Minister John Heapy said that if there is a chemical attack on Ukraine by Russia, then Britain will answer alone. Without the advice of NATO, Britain will retaliate. Analysts make big claim in killing Zelensky for Russia. It is not only difficult but impossible for the Russia to kill Zelensky. All Russia's plans and weapons to kill Zelensky were in vain. Russia has only nuclear weapons left to kill Zelensky. CIA Director William Burns said that Russia can attack with a low-capacity nuclear bomb. Putin is frustrated because he has not won over Ukraine. It has been revealed in a report that 100 crore people may have died in nuclear attack on Earth. The defense minister of Russia said that Russia will take all necessary steps in its defense. The British commander in Estonia said that if Russia attacked Europe, then our army was ready. NATO forces will protect Estonia. Ukraine is constantly targeting Russian tanks. Ukraine attacked a Russian tank with a drone. Ukraine is making trouble with an anti-missile on a Russian tank in the middle of the forest. Ukraine also attacked Russian residential areas. Dozens of houses were destroyed in the bombing. In the midst of Russia-Ukraine war, the biggest threat has been on Taiwan. This sensational news about China only reveals this fear. The news is related to the nuclear great emergency, is related to the great devastation. The details of China's Gimping World War book have come to the fore. Believe that every chapter in this book is destroyer and destroyer. In this, the blueprint of atomic attack has been prepared not only on the Taiwan but also in the countries like America, Australia, Japan, and India. With the attack on Taiwan, the first round of Third World War will start, and there will be nuclear devastation in the world. See in the explosive report. Is China going to attack Taiwan soon? Is the worst war ever going to happen in the Indo-Pacific region? Are dragons going to attack NATO countries including superpower America? And most importantly, with the atomic bomb attack, the first round of the Third World War will begin. Why is this suspicion being raised? Why is there talk of attack from China? Why did the talk of ammunition escalate to atom bomb? Why is the nuclear emergency siren sounding? So let us tell you that the reason behind this is Chinese Jinping and his World War book, in which every chapter has a very scary plan of great destruction. After all, what and how? Let him tell you first. Occupying Taiwan. How? By attacking through the South China Sea. Dominance in the Indo-Pacific. How? By attacking Australia, Japan, South Korea, India. The Europeans will crack down on enemies. How will they do it? By blasting NATO and Lithuania, by clashing with the superpower America. But how? To establish further sovereignty by attacking with nuclear missiles. But how? By eliminating all the enemies. On the basis of the information received from the back data of China Jinping, that is from the war book of Chinese Jinping, Chinese President Jinping has prepared a plan for a devastating and destructive war in the midst of Ukraine crisis. President Jinping's greatness is clear that he has made a strategy to deal with every enemy on the pretext of Taiwan. Now is the time to execute it. But the tension is not that big. In fact, it is being feared that to fulfill his purpose, President Jinping can also use atom bomb to create superpower. They can, without hesitation, use nuclear weapons in the war against their enemies. That is the second ground of the war between Russia-Ukraine, and Russia has also been prepared. But the surprising thing is that the war will happen in different areas of the earth. Somewhere in the sea, somewhere in the blue sky, and somewhere on the land of some country. This time, the war will not be fought with ammunition, but with atom bomb, which is considered as the most destructive weapon of the war. Ace because due to tension with Taiwan, Jinping has dropped the consignment of atomic weapons in the war zone. How that? Know this too. Dragon's first nuclear preparation is to exercise atomic submarines and warships in the Yellow Sea, equipping the Doomsday train with a DF-41 nuclear missile. Atomic attack super hypersonic missile test, rapidly increasing the consignment of nuclear warheads in the nuclear base. Nuclear readiness of Dragons, on the one hand to increase the consignment of nuclear weapons and on the other hand infiltration of fighter planes into its air defense zone to intimidate Taiwan. The president is openly expressing Jinping's intentions. In the meantime, it has been revealed from the satellite pictures that China is committing hijacking in the South China Sea. But now in the Yellow Sea also, the sea fighters are preparing landmines. After all, how? Understand this also through animation. The points highlighted in front of you in the sea area of the Yellow Sea are actually the attack points of the Dragon's army, where the Chinese army has deployed war fighters such as troops, brigades, warships, and atomic submarines to simultaneously control the East China Sea, including Japan and South Korea. From the first point to the fifth point, the President of China has deployed the destroyer fighter aircraft carrier. These sea warriors of the Red Army are armed with nuclear weapons. Nuclear missiles can be fired. This clearly shows that now China has to fight a war with the atomic weapons. The war that started in the year 1939 was fought with weapons but ended with atomic bombs. But this time the situation is quite the opposite. This time the war will start with the atom bomb, which will end only after the destruction of the world. This is because even if the tension is between Russia and Ukraine, even though there is a destructive war going on between the two countries, but in this crisis, President Jinping can go to any lower level for his benefit to get his sovereignty. The Chinese president can put the world in deep trouble, and it will start with Taiwan. Taiwan is a very small country in front of China. But this small Taiwan never bowed down even after all the praises of China. Whenever the dragon raised its head against Taiwan, it got its proper answer. America is behind this power of Taiwan. America's arms and courage are both with Taiwan. Russia will have to pay a heavy price if Dragons makes a lazy mistake considering Taiwan to be weak. As weak as China is considering Taiwan, it is not so easy to claim on this small country because America has already sent a delegation to Taiwan so that the current situation can be properly taken care of. After reaching this delegation, the US NSA has challenged the Dragon and its eccentric dictator. This is not a minor warning. Now, consider how terrible this war will be. Presidents of countries who wish to create superpower are ready to throw the whole world into atomic war for their own benefit, standing ready to destroy such a beautiful earth of God. In this destructive war, the great population of this earth will be destroyed, and the life of man on this earth will become very painful and dreadful. By destroying this beautiful creation of God, will the country and its people who are curious to make the superpower be happy? The people of all the countries threw the message of God's love in the river and blew the bugle of nuclear war in the hope of making superpower. And they went out to show their power in the war. Do you think this war will end here? How do you think these people will be able to create a blissful world? These people have started preparing to erect a superpower country building on crores of human corpses where there will be cemeteries all around. The war after this will be fought neither at sea nor on the earth. This war will be fought in the space. People of all countries will destroy satellites of other countries. Fire will rain on the earth from space. Only one person can keep you safe from this great destruction, that is the Son of God Adi Shri Arun. In the final battle, Lord Kalki, along with the Son of God Adi Shri Arun and the armies of heaven, will come face to face with Kali Purush. Countless people will die in this war, and those who are people of atheistic ideology and those who do not believe in Lord Kalki, their ghost will go away. Ma Vaishnav Countless people will die in this war, and those who are people of atheistic ideology and those who do not believe in Lord Kalki, their ghost will go away. Ma Vaishnavi, Mahamaya, Mahakali, Saraswati, Mahalakshmi will be involved in this fierce battle. Mahakali will drink the blood of black wicked people. The Mahabharata war did not go on for 18 days in the Dwapar Yuga. The Mahabharata war continued only for 17 and a half days. Mahakali wanted to drink the blood of the unrighteous. She was not ready to accept it. Then Lord Krishna had promised to Mahakali that in the Kali Yuga, you would be given an opportunity to drink the blood of the unrighteous for a day's war. Now, that promise of Lord Shri Krishna will also be fulfilled. Religion in 4 parts will be established on the earth only after such a few